Europe in the early 20th century was a powder keg of competing ambitions and deep-seated mistrust. Germany, wary of its neighbors, formed the Central Powers with Austria-Hungary and Italy. Facing this, France, Russia, and Great Britain established the Triple Entente. Nationalism, a potent force, further aggravated tensions. Within multi-ethnic empires like Austria-Hungary, ethnic groups yearned for independence. The Balkans, a region simmering with nationalist sentiment, became a focal point of conflict. The Ottoman Empire's decline in this region created a power vacuum, and Austria-Hungary's ambitions in the Balkans clashed with Serbia's desire for a Slavic state. Economic rivalry, particularly between Germany and Great Britain, added another layer of tension. Germany's rapid industrialization challenged Britain's long-held economic dominance. Military buildups, a tangible manifestation of these rivalries, further heightened anxieties. This complex web of alliances, nationalism, and economic competition created a volatile international system. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, provided the spark that plunged Europe into war. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie in Sarajevo on June 28, 1914, was a pivotal event that shook Europe to its core. Gavrilo Princip, a young Bosnian Serb nationalist, carried out the assassination, a direct result of the volatile mix of nationalism and ethnic tensions in the Balkans. Austria-Hungary, backed by Germany's support, issued an ultimatum to Serbia, demanding humiliating terms. Serbia's partial rejection provided Austria-Hungary with the justification to declare war on Serbia on July 28, 1914. The assassination was the spark that ignited pre-existing tensions and rivalries. The system of alliances facilitated the rapid escalation of the conflict. Within days, Europe's great powers were mobilizing their armies. Germany declared war on Russia on August 1, 1914, and on France 2 days later. Germany's Schlieffen Plan aimed for a swift victory by first defeating France and then turning to Russia. The continent, and soon the world, was plunged into the chaos of the Great War. The declarations of war in the summer of 1914 unleashed a wave of euphoria and patriotic fervor across Europe. Crowds cheered, confident of a swift victory. The initial stages of the war were marked by rapid movements and bold offensives. Germany's Schlieffen Plan aimed for a rapid knockout blow against France. German forces, advancing through neutral Belgium, encountered fierce resistance. The Battle of Mons delayed their advance and bought crucial time for the Allies. The German advance was halted at the First Battle of the Marne in September 1914. The failure of the Schlieffen Plan led to the establishment of the Western Front, a 400-mile-long line of trenches. The early months of the war shattered the illusion of a quick victory. The conflict settled into a brutal war of attrition, a grim test of endurance and resources. The Western Front became synonymous with the horrors of World War I. Life in the trenches was a grim ordeal, characterized by constant danger and unimaginable living conditions. Major battles like Verdun and the Somme resulted in staggering casualties, but yielded little territorial gain. Verdun became a symbol of French resilience and German determination. The Somme witnessed the bloodiest day in British military history. Despite immense sacrifices, the Allies gained a mere 6 miles of territory. New technologies, such as machine guns, artillery, and poison gas, intensified the carnage. The Western Front became a symbol of the war's futility and the human cost of modern warfare. The stalemate, though ultimately broken in 1918, left an indelible mark on the course of the war. While the Western Front remained locked in a bloody stalemate, the war raged on in other theaters. The Eastern Front witnessed vast and mobile warfare. Russia faced a formidable German military machine. the Ottoman Empire's entry into the war added a new dimension to the conflict. The Gallipoli campaign ended in costly failure for the Allies. In the Middle East, British forces, aided by Arab rebels, sought to undermine Ottoman rule. Germany's unrestricted submarine warfare brought the United States closer to war. The sinking of the Lusitania and the Zimmermann telegram pushed the United States to declare war on Germany in April 1917. The entry of the United States tipped the balance of power in favor of the Allies. World War I witnessed an unprecedented escalation in the scale and lethality of warfare. Machine guns transformed battlefields into killing fields. Artillery turned battlefields into desolate moonscapes. Poison gas, first used by the Germans in 1915, inflicted agonizing deaths. Tanks, first deployed by the British in 1916, demonstrated their potential to break the stalemate. Airplanes evolved into weapons of war, with dogfights becoming common. These technological advancements came at a terrible human cost. The increased firepower resulted in unprecedented casualties. The war became a grim battle of attrition. The technological innovations of World War I ushered in a new era of destructive warfare. World War I had a profound impact on the home front, transforming societies and economies. The concept of total war emerged as governments directed resources towards the military. Rationing of essential goods became commonplace. Women entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers, challenging traditional gender roles. Propaganda played a crucial role in maintaining morale and public support. Governments implemented censorship laws and restricted civil liberties. The war's social and economic consequences shaped the post-war world. By 1918, the tide of the war began to turn in favor of the Allies. The entry of the United States provided a much-needed boost. Germany launched a desperate offensive in the spring of 1918. The German offensive ultimately failed. Allied forces, bolstered by American reinforcements, launched counteroffensives. The 100 Days Offensive marked the final stage of the war. Germany sued for peace, and the armistice was signed on November 11, 1918. The war's legacy of death, destruction, and political upheaval would continue to shape the world. In January 1919, representatives from the victorious Allied powers gathered in Paris to negotiate the terms of peace. The Paris Peace Conference aimed to redraw the map of Europe and establish a lasting peace. The conference, dominated by the Big Four, faced the daunting task of reconciling competing national interests. Woodrow Wilson's 14 points clashed with European power politics. The negotiations dragged on for months. The Paris Peace Conference produced treaties that formally ended the war, but failed to establish a lasting peace. The Treaty of Versailles imposed harsh terms on Germany, laying the groundwork for future resentment and instability. The Treaty of Versailles, signed on June 28, 1919, aimed to punish Germany and prevent future aggression. Germany was burdened with heavy reparations, territorial losses, and military restrictions. The treaty's harsh terms sowed the seeds of resentment and instability in Germany. The War Guilt Clause held Germany solely responsible for the war. The treaty's failure to address the underlying causes of the war undermined its effectiveness. The League of Nations proved ineffective in preventing future conflict. The Treaty of Versailles stands as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the complexities of peacemaking and the enduring legacy of war.